What does it mean to be weird? Weirdness is the corruption of normalcy. When something familiar feels just slightly wrong, think of things like the uncanny valley. It looks familiar, but you can just tell that something is wrong. That's the feeling I got watching Atlanta, Get Out, and Sorry to Bother You. That slow, creepy feeling where normal life gets broken, where normal life gets surreal. In Atlanta, a show about two rappers trying to make it in the rap industry by Donald Glover or Childish Gambino. Every so often, something bizarre slips in. Like the main plot might be about something realistic, but then out of nowhere, something slips. Something weird happens. For example, a man offering a sandwich in a train then disappearing. Justin Bieber being black. And literal invisible cars just being a thing in this world. Weird and even crazier things are sprinkled throughout the entire show, and you never see it coming, but it sticks with you. And what makes it even crazier is that technically this show isn't categorized as a sci-fi or fantasy. These weird things just happen and the writers just expect you to go along with it. And you do because the weirdness is so baked into the reality of things that you don't even notice until it's just right in your face. There's this scene from season 2 where Darius needs to get his piano back from this creepy white guy.
Do you still want the water?
Oh, yeah.
I can bring it to you.
And
Downstairs.
even though you know this isn't a horror movie or horror show, you just feel unsettled. But on the surface, everything feels normal enough to where you aren't screaming danger, but weird enough to where you're just shocked. And when things get even weirder, you still don't feel too mind blown because you've come to expect these kind of things from the show. And again, there are indeed weirder moments in the show, carefully mixing unfamiliar things into familiar settings.
Oh, no. No. No.
Jordan Peele's Get Out takes a very different approach. It starts as a relatable story of guy meets girlfriend's parents, but something feels off. The smiles are way too wide, the conversations are awkward, and the tension just keeps growing every scene.
If there's too many white people, I get nervous,
One of the most powerful scenes is the sunken place. Chris, the main character, gets hypnotized by his girlfriend's mom and falls into an endless void. He starts screaming, but nobody can hear him. Not only is the scene scary, it's also surreal. And it remains on the nose. He explains it as being just a dream. Peele doesn't just throw monsters and ghosts at us, he takes everyday racism and makes it awkward. All the microaggressions, dismissive comments, he slowly warps them into horror. You can see this too in his sketches. Even though they're mostly comedy, he still tries to bring in that surrealism. By the time the plot of Get Out actually reveals itself, the world feels totally broken. Sorry to Bother You takes things even further. Boots Riley's film, I hope I pronounced that correctly, starts as a hilarious satire about a struggling telemarketer who has a white voice, which he uses to climb the corporate ladder. It's funny, it's weird, but it feels grounded.
Masturbate today. We need you sharp and ready to go.
Then comes the twist. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The horse people. It's such a shocking, absurd moment that completely redefines the movie. Things go from kinda weird to full-on crazy, and yet it fits. I also especially like how the surrealism here is a punchline and also a commentary at the same time. A way to exaggerate how capitalism dehumanizes workers. Riley leans into absurdity but never loses control. Every bizarre twist feels like a natural extension of the world he built. That's the genius of this style. The weirder it gets, the more it makes sense. All of this reminded me of The Twilight Zone. That show was a masterclass in slow burn weirdness. Each episode started in a completely normal world. A diner, a suburban home, a busy street, and then one small detail would feel wrong. Modern shows like Atlanta take that formula but apply it to today's realities: race, class, fame, and culture. Instead of sci-fi aliens, the monsters are real-world fears and systems. That's what makes them so powerful. The slow burn effect is what makes the weirdness stick. It's what makes the weirdness surreal. Surrealism started in the 1920s as an art movement. Artists like Salvador Dali and Rene Margarita wanted to paint dreams, but they believed art should explore the unconscious mind, the strange ideas, images, and fears we don't always say out loud. Surrealism bends reality to reveal the truth. But in modern day, I feel it works best when it's slowly corrupting rather than entirely bending. In film, this becomes a way to make audiences feel uneasy or curious. Surrealist movies like Louis Buñuel's Un Chien Andalun, I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation, had bizarre dreamlike images with no clear explanation. It wasn't about logic, it was about feelings. Atlanta, Get Out, and Sorry to Bother You take those ideas and applies them to Black experiences. The term Afro-Surrealism, coined by Amiri Baraka and explored by writers like Ishmael Reed, Afro-Surrealism says Black life in America is already strange and absurd. You don't have to invent a weird future. The weirdness is here, in the way racism, culture, and history warp reality every day. These shows use surrealism to highlight truths about race and class, but they do it slowly with humor, horror, and creativity. It's not just weird for the sake of it, they're slowly building up to something. They're slowly building up to tell you something. These films are weird because they take what's normal and warp it, but not so drastically that it's an entirely different genre or straight up fantasy. They're like a mirror, one that bends just enough to make you see what's been there all along. That's why I love surrealism. It makes you laugh, it makes you uncomfortable, and it stays with you long after the credits roll. That slow corruption is really fascinating, because even in real life, we've all experienced surrealist moments, and these shows capture that moment perfectly. The next time you watch a scene that feels a little too strange, don't look away. That weirdness might be telling you the truth.